on it. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to BRL Round 3 in the series. Today we are at Hockenhiemring, and it's going to be 48 laps today with a 10-lap overtime. No stages once again. And yeah, last week's winner, Wesley, very dominant last week, has some momentum. Sebastian, also the Daytona 500 winner 2 weeks ago, he got some pretty good momentum, back-to-back top 2 finishes. Pretty good. Wesley, I think, finished 4th in 500, I do believe. Yeah, he finished 4th. And I think Cookie, the number 36, I think he finished 5th or 6th at Suzuka. Last week was Suzuka, and then the week prior was Daytona. Also a pretty good pick there for you as well of another driver with top 2 or top 3 finish, Skid Brave. Well, top 5, I should say. 48 laps here today, and gonna get ready to go green here. Now the starting order is going to be inverted, so I think last week's winner is going to be on the pole, because there is no qualifying, so I'm still trying to learn this, so y'all just bear with me on this. Just hang in there. It's all gonna be alright. Switch to my mouses. Oh. Okay, I guess we had a technical difficulty. Oh. That's what it was. We still have plenty more people coming in here. My B. 13, 14. Well, sorry, 13 drivers. 13 drivers in here so far. I think we're capped out there. I think. Our in-race reporter is going to be, well, not in-race, I think it is in-race reporter or speed report. I think it's Woozy as well. So, kind of just see what's going on here. I think there was a little bit of a technical difficulty. Or, well, not technical difficulty, but some people were joining in, and the host kind of jumped the gun on starting the race, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just one of them Forza Motorsports deals. Just how it goes. So putting a pin in that. So the top, well, a few of the top 5 drivers in last week's race, you know. So you have Wesley, you have Skid Brave. I think Skid Brave finished second. I can't remember. They're going to change up the order here, so see where everybody's going to go. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. There we go. 14 drivers. Pretty good turnout. I think last week we had 12. I believe we had 12 drivers last week. So, and it was Zuka too. Hockenhiemring, there isn't really any elevation change with Hockenheim. You know, it's a really flat track. You know, there's a lot of, you know, it has a little bit of a characteristic of Circuit of the Americas, not so much as, you know, a Sonoma or a Watkins Glen, but, you know, when you go into some of these turns, it kind of resembles some of those, you know, tracks like Circuit of the Americas and Watkins Glen. But then again, like I said, it doesn't have a whole lot of elevation change. You know, it's just a really flat road course. You know, there's some banking in some of the turns in the in the very last section of the track. So I don't think it'll throw off, you know, some of the road course ringers. You know, you got Wesley, you got Sebastian. You know, you got Skid Brave, he's pretty good. Those three really, I mean, they kind of shine out from the rest. PRG Black, you know, he's consistent, but it's still early in the season. You know, it's round 3, so kind of going to see what's going to happen here, you know, in this race. And what they will do is they will do a pace lap. So So the second race of the season, it went based off of the finishing order of the first race. So now the third race, the starting order is going off of points. So Bandit is going to be starting at the tail end of the field, followed by Sebastian, Wesley, Cookie, Skid Brave, PRG Black, Steve, Hitstick, Beloved, BD Dolphin, Welder, Dale Jr., Woozy Emu, and Milkshake. So let's see what's going to happen here. Milkshake will be starting on the front row, followed by Woozy Emu in that number 8 Interstate Batteries Chevrolet. And then Dale Jr. in the number 1. Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet, the old Jamie McMurray throwback. That was pretty cool. Then you got Welder in the number 79 Toyota. Then you have BD Dolphin in 5th in that number 4 Ford, the A&W root beer car. Then you got Beloved in the number 3, which is an Austin Dillon or Todd Dillon throwback back into the Xfinity Series. I believe that's a 2016 paint scheme or 2015. Then you got Hitstick in the number 23 Ford, very Miami looking. And then PRG Black and the number 9 Bass Pro Shops. Number 9. And then Steve in the number 44 Toyota Camry. Then you have Wesley in the number 72. Is that Toyota right there? That is, I believe, that is a Alex Bowman throwback. I believe it looks very similar to it. I think that's an Alex Bowman throwback. Then you have Sebastian in the number 68, NOS Energy Drink. You know, that's a pretty good paint scheme too. And then you have Bandit, number 8, Budweiser card. I think it was, well, I think he is chosen to run the number 77, but I think they was just trying to hurry up and get everybody in here and ready to go. And I believe, but getting ready to start here. They go green at the start-finish line. They're rolling through the last turn here. This isn't a standstill restart or a standstill green flag drop. This is a rolling start. And green flag in the air. We're underway at Hockenheim. Milkshake and Woozy down into turn number 1. Oh, Milkshake goes wide there. Everybody goes wide. Oh, Milkshake off the track. Everybody goes wide. Skid Brave takes advantage. And he has set sail already. There was a slight chance of rain before the race started, but the weather, fortunately enough, cleared up. But I would have liked to seen, you know, a rain race personally. Now this is the second section of the track. Really, the first section isn't all that tricky. It's really a kink in the first turn, and then the second turn is a hairpin, third turn is a hairpin. Now I do think, you know, these two intersections of the Hockenhiemring, because, you know, it runs off of the drag strip. So that first intersection is at the very end of the drag strip, and the second section is at the very beginning of the drag strip. I do think it's going to throw a lot of people off, you know, in the very early going here. But, you know, once you're starting to get into that rhythm, I think everything, you know, kind of plays out. Everything goes smooth here. Back in black down pit road. I think this is either not a scheduled, but possible pit strategy, or got into some trouble in the back there when pretty much a good portion of the field decided to miss the first 2 turns. Everybody kind of got off track there. But Skid Brave, Wesley, Bandit, Welder, and Sebastian, that is your top 5. Skid Brave in the 46 here, currently leading. Wesley in tow in the number 72. And then Bandit in that number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet. Bleh. And Welder in a very unique number 79. What that design is based off of the top of my head. It looks World War II-ish. Could be World War I as well. And then Sebastian in 5th in the NOS Energy Drink Toyota. It's a good choice, Sebastian. Really good choice. Like the NOS. Then you got Woozy Emo in 6th. Wow, that's a good little bit of momentum there. Then you got Cookie in 7th at number 36. Then you got Dale Jr. in 8th. Beady Dolphin in 9th, and Hit Sticks in 10th. That is going to round up your top 10. Meanwhile, back at the point, Skid Brave holding just a slim lead over Wesley. Oh, and Skid Brave overshoots the corner. Wesley's trying to take advantage. These two got a little bit of a rivalry going on. Side by side, coming out of the first intersection. Now going into the third, or well, the second intersection for, it's the last series of turns here. Skid Brave taking the defensive inside line. Wesley going on the outside. Ooh, a little bit of contact there, a little bit of rubbing. Wesley clears Skid Brave. Wesley is going to take the point on lap 5. End of lap 4, beginning of lap 5. So Wesley is now your new leader. So far, 2 leaders, 3 lead changes in the first 5 laps. Now, as you see, your top 3 has completely separated themselves from everybody else. And then you have Sebastian and Welder in 4th and 5th, and then from 6th all the way to 10th. I believe that's 10th. Going towards the hairpin here, right here, if I can get on them. No, that is 13th. My fault. Oh yeah, because Back in Black did have that unscheduled pit stop at the very beginning. Wesley picking up right where he left off last week at Suzuka. And Skid Brave was in the position to steal it so little bit of a backstory if y'all haven't paid attention to last week's race, or if you haven't seen last week's race. So my Steve, he had a sub driver, Frosty. Wesley and Frosty get together after the hairpin turn at Suzuka. And Wesley gets off the track, and then Frosty gets off the track. And Skid Brave takes full advantage and is just setting absolute insane lap times. You know, he's running the race that he needs to run. He's doing everything he can, and then caution comes out with 4 laps to go. They go back green with 3 laps to go. Wesley gets back up front and he wins the race. That was, I felt bad for Skid Brave, but I also felt bad for Wesley too, because Wesley was putting on a good run, and then right there at the end, Skid Brave, he was running the right lap times, he was doing what he needed to do to execute, and luck wasn't on his side. That's just a part of racing, you know. I really felt bad for the dude. I think he finished 4th. It might have been 4th or 5th. It was one of the two, but I mean, I just really felt bad for the guy. Now, the top 2, you know, putting a little distance in between everybody else. Bandit, who is currently running third. He started at the back. Not that bad to actually, go from 14th to third. And it was just a handful of laps. I believe 3 or 4 laps. He was already inside the top 5. And a caution is out. Ooh. My Steve. So Steve is good on the engine damage report. Check Dale Jr. here. As far as what I've seen, I'm guessing that was the only ones that were involved. Okay, so Milkshake as well. Either he was downshifting way too quick and got up into the revs. And that just damaged his engine. But I'm guessing everybody else is clean because I'm not seeing any damage on anybody else. So, okay, I was about to say, I thought everybody was going green flag racing there for a minute. But the only way that a caution would come out is for 2 reasons. Okay, so 3 cars have to be in the same wreck, or B, reason number 2 is because it endangered the entire field, or majority of the field. So that is the only 2 reasons a caution would come out on a track like this, and also a track like Suzuka, is if there is, a few cars out of shape, they spin in front of the entire field. So for example, first and second are in front, and they're double file in front of the field, and let's say not in this turn, but going into the hairpin, the 72 and the 46, they both get together and they completely block the entire track somehow. Then a caution would be called. Now, and also for another example, if it happened more like in mid-pack, like we'll say 7th, let's say Woozy spins out and the back half of the field is in danger, then a caution would be called in that case too. And then the other reason is, if all 3 of these cars get together, Welder, Beatty Dolphin, and Woozy. If all 3 of them get together and they spin, but they don't endanger the field, a caution would still be called. But if it's a single car spin or a 2 car spin, and they spin off into the inner part of the grass here to my left, but their right, it'd be that part right over here, but they're in the grass. Now, if they spun and they, blocked the hairpin, then caution, like I said, it would still come out. Just to make sure everybody comprehends that. But scheduled distance, 48 laps. So they will come to 40 laps to go. Pit road will be open this time by. They will restart with 39 laps to go. And the number 72, the Speed Racer He had a pretty, somewhat unique scheme last week. It was a speed racer, sort of throwback, which was very creative in my eyes. I didn't catch it firsthand, but then Woozy had, went to the garage and then jumped up in the booth. He said, "Oh yeah, that's 72, that's Speed Racer." I was like, "Oh, well, I'll be alrighty." So, lead lap cars, everybody's going to come down pit road more than likely. Yeah, everybody comes down pit road, so... Now, unless somebody does something out of the box in the first pit stop, not green flag pit stop, but in the first pit stop, I would I don't think anybody would do something crazy, Now, if it was more towards the end of the race and they were on fuel strategy, then try and do something, I could understand, but not this early in the race. But I would say if anybody did try to, mix it up a little bit in the early stages, what you don't want to do if let's say, for example, it goes green flag to the end, and you experimented on the one caution that you would get, then you have a mistake, and then now you're losing spots left and right. I don't know. I would just try to keep my eyes on the bigger picture if I was some of these guys, But Skid Brave lost a spot during that caution. Well, not during the caution, but he did. Oh wait, hang on, let's see what we got going on here. Ticker, no, any changes. So Wesley up 11 spots, Bandit up 12. Skid Brave up 7. Oh, well, I thought it was going to do something else. Dang. Okay. I was really going to like to see that. But apparently it didn't do that. They're going to be single file up until, I would say, this part of the track right here. This last intersection, right when they're coming out of this hairpin. They'll get double file. They'll be double file right here, and then they'll go green at the start finish line. They do not do the restart box. Ooh, we're experimenting with cameras here. Uh-oh. I'm trying to get back to the cars. Whoops. There we go. But Wesley is still your leader. Bandit is going to be restarting second. Skid Brave is going to be starting third. Sebastian is going to be starting fourth. I believe that's correct. Coming back to the green flag. Green flag back in the air. Wesley right off the rip. Sebastian up to second. Bandit stays in third. Skid Brave in fourth. Welder and now up to fourth. And all all three of the Toyota teammates are inside the top 5. Ooh, car goes wide there. Who was that? Hit sticks. That was a whole bunch of people. Beat it off and went wide. Possible controller failure. Yeah. That is going to be a caution. I don't know what happened there. I just seen a glimpse of it. I would kill for a rewind button right now. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if Dolphin completely missed a braking point, and then it looked like everybody else went wide too. I think a whole bunch of people missed the braking point there. That's also another thing I think as a driver you would focus on too, is, you know, getting heat into the tires. Because, you know, cold tires, you know, they aren't going to get, you got to keep the brakes up to temperature, you got to get the tires up to temperature, focus on the core temperature. You can't just, you know, do like a throttle up and brake, throttle up and brake. You kind of gotta like get all of the temperature like spaced out evenly throughout the tires, the brake system. You don't want to overdo it, but you just want to get that temperature into the tires. You know, have some sort of pressure build up within the tires. But some cars go down pit road here, PRG black. I don't think there was anything major. It didn't, nothing really looked major. But then again, the damage model in this game, it could be better. It could be worse, but it could be better. Just a little bit better. A little more into detail, I guess. You know. Because the Forza Motorsport game itself, there's no give. If that makes any sense. There's no give within the car. There's some. There's not a whole lot. Maybe one of these days they might figure that out. It is an iRacing, but you know, we'll take what we can get. We'll take it. So they will restart this time by pretty much the only cars that pitted were the ones that were involved in the caution. So it'd be Beady Dolphin. I think Woozy Emu got involved. No, I think it wasn't Milkshake, was it? Depending on where Sebastian finishes, he might lose the points lead. If Wesley, I think if Wesley wins again, or you know, at least a top 2 or top 3 finish, right now I definitely think the points battle is in between the 72 and the 68, which is teammates, which is funny enough. But they're double file now. They will go green at the start finish line. Wesley still your leader, and Bandit in second place on the outside. Green flag back in the air. last restart, Wesley had a little bit more of a lead. Now Bandit is right there with him, side by side. Wesley clears him a little bit. Bandit was looking inside there as the top two kind of have a little bit of a gap in between themselves and third and fourth place, which is Sebastian and Skid Brave. Bandit looking inside, trying to outbrake Wesley into the hairpin. He does. A little bit of contact there. Bandit to the point. Is he going to hold it? A little bit of trouble there in the back between Steve and Woozy. There's a slight contact. Ooh, a little bit more contact that time. Bandit and Wesley still going at it. Coming out of the first intersection, going into the second intersection at the Hockenhiemring. Oh, Bandit off the track. I don't think that was caution worthy. Nobody hit him. He kind of endangered the field in a way, but he was rejoining, so he wasn't out of control either. Got a good recovery though. Like I said, I think really those two sections is what's going to throw people off, and it just bit one right there, and it bit three people or two people. It bit two people the first time, and then it bit the third person this time. Wesley back to the point. He is your race leader. Sebastian, his teammate, second, Skid Brave in third. Bandit has now made the pass for fourth. Welder, another one of those Toyota teammates, he was looking outside there trying to get the crossover on exit maybe there. Couldn't pull it off. Welder in fifth, Cookie in sixth, Woozy, PRT, Black, and Milkshake, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Milkshake off the... Ooh, that was close. Milkshake almost went off the track there. BD Dolphin back in 10th. Steve in 11th. Junior in 12th. Hit Stick in 13th. And Beloved in 14th. That is your current running order. Mainly a battle between 7th, 8th, and 9th. And there was a battle for the lead. Oh, that's a little bit wide there. Contact in the that was between Skid Brave and Bandit, and Welder took advantage. Skid Brave and Bandit got together coming out of that kink, or the first turn. Coming out of the first turn, they both got together. Skid Brave recovers, but he lost the position doing it. Bandit moves up to third, and he is in the hunt and going after Sebastian. Now, it doesn't look like he's gaining. Oh, he gained a 10th. It doesn't look like he's, really gaining all that much, because the harder you drive your car, the more you burn up your tires, and you just kind of gotta like be smooth is fast, or slow is smooth, and smooth is fast, as they would say. Wesley still your race leader by 4.2 seconds, and the gap still fluctuating in between 4.2 and 4.3. Second place is Sebastian still, and then Bandit in third at number 8. Welder, Skid Brave, and Cookie. And we got Milkshake, PRG Black, and Beady Dolphin. Ooh. What happened to Woozy? Did Woozy get run off the track? Man, oh man. Steve kind of making up some positions here. Was 11th, now up to 9th. They are these two cars right here going into this hairpin. And it is a 3-car group in between Milkshake, PRG Black, and Cookie. That is for 6th, 7th, 8th. Oh, and Milkshake off. Milkshake off the track. Rejoins with no issues. I think there is something going on with that car. Something with the handling. Just something isn't there for him. It's either too much rear brake in the car or too much front brake. It is something. And it looks like a lot of understeer. The car just doesn't want to rotate. It's a combination of a little bit of everything right now. I don't think it's anything mechanical though. Could be wrong. Okay, maybe a slight mechanical. Wesley, still your race leader. Bandit is closing in on Sebastian right now. And he is there. Bandit is right there. He ran off track a couple of laps ago. It was this second intersection right up here that they're coming up on. It was this section right here that he overdid it, got into the sand trap a little bit, and he done it again. Oh man. He overdone it that time. Sebastian still holds on to second place. Wesley, still your race leader, but Bandit, I think he's trying to get a little bit too much out of the car right now. And it's going to bite him in the end. The more that he pushes, the more that he burns up his stuff. You know, instead of just, you know, building up the pace, you know, just be smooth, and then, you know, gradually build your car, and then just find that area. Get into a rhythm. Slowly work your way up. Don't try and win the race in the first corner. That's what you don't want to try and do. Because then that is how you get caught up in a wreck and possibly end up taking yourself out of the race. Skid Brave though, running 5th after that little bit of contact with Bandit. Just trying to be smooth, you know, just have a slight recovery here. And Bandit and Skid Brave, both off of the track into the sand traps. And Bandit off track once again. Now the sun starts to come out, and the grip levels, it isn't going to go away entirely, but, you know, the longer the green flag goes, the more rubber that's going to be put down onto the track, especially in the braking points here. You can already see it being put down. And so the cars are going to naturally feel more tighter as more rubber gets put down. Now how about Welder here? So last race, he's really had a rough couple of races. So he started on pole at Daytona within 15 laps. Crashes out, completely DNFs from the entire race. And then at Suzuka, starts on pole again. And now he finished either 7th or 8th, somewhere in there. It is somewhere in that ballpark. He finished towards, it might have been 6th. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's just really been a rough couple races for Welder. And it seems like he's having a hard time with the car. But I think he's just trying to get back into that rhythm, just trying to be consistent and, and then possibly put yourself in a position to win. This is a good track to do it at. It's not like Suzuka, where it's got some elevation change, but not a lot. Suzuka had a little bit more elevation change than this track right here at Hockenhiemring. It's really flat. There's not a lot of banking in the corners. There's probably maybe 2 or 3 corners that have some banking in them, but pretty much most of them have hardly none at all. As you see Skid Brave in the back there, followed by Bandit. He really needs a good run here, because the past 2 races it hasn't been all that great for him. Like I said, started on pole and then 15 laps in, doesn't even make it to the first stage or to the end of the first stage, and completely just absolutely gets annihilated because of the lap car situation at Daytona. And then Suzuka had an okay run, a respectable run, not setting the world on fire, but just tried to survive and potentially get a good day out of it, in which he made the most of it. He started on pole, kind of fell back as the race got stretched out. Here he is right now with 27 laps to go, coming to 26. Yeah, 27. They're going to be coming to 27 laps to go right now. He's running third, and it's a 1-2-3 for the Toyota team. Dadgum Yoders. But in all seriousness, you know, I mean, these two right here in first and second, Wesley, your current race leader, as he's putting Woozy line down, gets kind of pinched there in the hairpin turn. And Sebastian, these two right here, you know, you got your Daytona winner, and then you got last week's winner, and both of them have finished in the top 5 in both races. Now, last week they both finished in the top 2. It was a 1-2 finish, and once again, it doesn't look like they're staying main course. They're staying afloat. Well, not staying afloat, but they are definitely, you know, staying on kill right now. Their other teammate, Welder, who hasn't had the best of the previous 2 races, but trying to recover here in this 3rd race here at Hockenheim. Then you have Bandit. Okay, Bandit. Okay, Bandit. He's been fighting himself with this section right here. Oh, his Welder's off the track into the sand trap. He gets out of shape. Bandit gets out of shape and into the sand trap as well. Once again. That is 3 times now he has gotten into the sand trap. PRG Black, who pitted early in the opening laps of the race, and now he's in the sand trap. Oh man, what in the world is going on with people in the sand trap today? I'm telling you, these 2 intersections are throwing a lot of people off. Beady Dolphin, who had a trouble earlier, he's now, oh wait, wrong person, sorry, Milkshake, well, both of them have had trouble. Beady Dolphin and Milkshake, they both have had trouble in the opening laps. They are both currently running 7th and 8th right now. You can see Beady Dolphin just in tow. Just 6 seconds, sorry, 3 seconds. Just over 3.5 seconds behind, and then you got Cookie in 9th. And my Steve, number 44, who had a great sub-driver last week, but then kind of intertwined with the race winner there towards the end, Wesley. Frosty didn't do so hot in the very beginning, but then right there towards the end, put himself in that position to be a threat for the win. And him and Wesley get together. They were both, you know, going for it. And Frosty just, they pretty much get together, and Wesley gets off track, and then I think a corner later, Frosty does the same thing. But I think he still brought it home in 5th. It was somewhere in between 5th and 7th, somewhere in there. But he's running. Steve is running solid right now. Oh, and Milkshake off the track. I think he got into the sand trap. That sand trap is getting people today. I think I'm gonna bet on the sand trap to win the race before it's all said and done. But Wesley still maintains the point, currently an 11-second lead over Sebastian. In reality, well, never mind. Okay, not in reality. I was gonna say it's probably not that big of a gap, but that is pretty much a whole straightaway lead. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, whoa. What was that? The 23 gets off track and almost hits Wesley. I don't think it was on purpose, but that was definitely a close call right there. For sure. Sebastian, Wesley, and Welder, they both still hold 1, 2, 3. We are now at the halfway point in this race. And so far, only a handful of lead changes. Well, 3 lead changes, but 2 leaders in the race. It was Skid Brave and Wesley. That's all that the leaders have. And sorry, 4 leaders. Oh, and Welder off track. Skid Brave trying to take advantage of that. Skid Brave, ever since that collision with Bandit in that number 8, he's kind of been bouncing back here, just, putting up respectable lap times here. They are getting close to green flag pit stops here, and I do think so. I think a lot of people chose a lot of different things here. So Skid Brave, judging by the tire wear that he has, he put on a hard set of tires, in which it takes a while for them to actually warm up and then start wearing down. But once you get the temperature in them, then you're okay. You don't have all that grip that people on medium tires have, and you definitely don't have the grip that people on soft tires have. But soft tires, they wear down more quickly. Medium tires, they're a little bit more durable. You don't have as much grip as the softer tires, but they are there for your disposal. Welder and Skid Brave going at it right now. 3rd and 4th. And then Sebastian in 2nd, closing in on hit sticks. Yeah, they're definitely getting closer to green flag pit stops here. But for sure, they're definitely getting closer to green flag pit stops here as you look at Wesley. Oh, wow. Either he is in qualifying trend or something, because I do think he might be onto something there. Maybe a potential, just short pitting. Potentially. Kind of seeing a lot of different things here. His teammates aren't exactly, with the same ballpark strategy, but they're relatively close. Then you have Skid Brave, who's 3rd, running a completely different strategy here. Running a durable tire. Doesn't have as much grip, but, in 3rd. But he's 26 seconds back, as now there's only 9 cars on the lead lap. So, don't know here. Okay. I think something happened there. I don't know if y'all could hear me, but I think I might have had a little technical issue there. I apologize if I was there quiet for a couple of laps. I thought I was talking, but I couldn't hear myself. But now there's 8 cars on the lead lap. Wesley gets by Cookie, who's currently running 9th. He just got put a lap down. If a caution does come out, and now there's 7 cars on the lead lap. He was in that lucky dog position, now he's not. So the last car on the lead lap is BD Dolphin, and he is not too far behind, not too far ahead for being put a lap down. And Back in Black is on the front straightaway, and Wesley is just now getting into the last intersection. Then in front of him is Bandit in the number 8, running 5th currently. Having a really tough day right now. Welder in 4th. He lost his 3rd place spot to Skid Brave. Skid Brave in the number 46 Crown Royal car. Car almost looks black from the amount of rubber buildup on it. From the side, it almost did. Then you have Sebastian in 2nd. We're closing in on green flag pit stops here. Wesley isn't too far away hitting. Now, I don't know if he's in qualifying trend or if he's just, he's at his own pace. He's just putting as much distance in between him and 2nd place. But closing in on green flag pit stops as we'll now be coming 20 laps to go left in the race. And there's a caution. There is a caution. Who spun? Oh my goodness. Milkshake. And he is done. Milkshake is done. Oh, Woozy. Woozy is not done, but definitely some steering and driveline issues. A little bit of engine damage. Nothing too alarming though. What happened? Beloved, he's okay. Dale Jr., I think Dale Jr.'s okay. Oh, there's Milkshake right there. Yeah, he is. Milkshake is done. And that just put a damper on Wesley's lead. With 20 laps to go. Oh. Letting the field get regrouped back up here. That saved BD Dolphin though. Because he was getting close to being put up. Well, no, he was the free pass car. Never mind. My bad. My bad entirely. I think Bandit pitted before the caution came out. If so, that will kind of change things up. Now, depending on what tire he went with, that might affect some things. But Milkshake is out of the race. First DNF of the race. And Beady Dolphin was your free pass. Now they will go down pit road, this time by I will be right back. So they have finished pit stops. Bandit, who pitted earlier before the caution came out, he stays out, takes the lead, also leads a lap, so that is a bonus point for him. Or I think he already led a lap, so it wouldn't be another bonus point for him. Now I would like to see something here. So depending on the fuel. Ooh. I don't know about the fuel. I think he can be alright. So they are coming to the green flag this time. And I think something's going on with Woozy. Car slow in the back. Green flag this time by Bandit to control car. And he did not get going. Bandit did not get going on that start. That caused a jam up behind them. Wesley still maintains the lead going into the second hairpin, or the first hairpin, but the second turn. And that will now go down this curved straightaway. Well, I wouldn't even say it's a straightaway, but it's a curved one. And now down into the second hairpin. A lot of people have been messing up. Oh, and there's a stack up behind them. Between PRG Black, BD Dolphin, and a whole mess of them. That's the third hairpin. It seems like everybody gets through cleanly there. Oh, and never mind. There is a caution. There is a caution. Oh. So now... sorry, 17 laps to go in this race, and Cookie, the 36, who's really been kind of having a rough day here, he will get the free pass. They had a good green flag stint here, and I don't think well, actually, if there was two cars that went... Yeah, okay, so pit road was open that time. Okay, I thought I was going to say the wrong thing. But pit road was open. So, my Steve, who's a lap down, Skid Brave, BD Dolphin, PRG Black, and Bandit, they all pit. Guessing just a simple splash and go. It doesn't seem like they was in pit road very long. They could have taken tires too, but so Bandit, he didn't lose that many spots either, so kind of a good call to go down pit road. Yeah, so pretty much everybody took 4 tires and fuel there. I guess Bandit thought staying out was going to help him, and you know, when you have those heating and cooled cycles, you know, where you're green flag for a little bit and then you're on, you know, not exactly new tires, but you know, they're a few laps old, probably 5 laps, and you know, the get up and go got up and left in them, and you know, it's just not there. But they will go green this time by, and Cookie, who is still trying to catch up, I do believe he went down pit road since he was the way around. Yes. No, never mind. I guess he's still catching up. My bad, because he did get the free pass. So they're gonna go green this time by, and he's still got a little ways to go before he catches up. And they're going into the first intersection of this track. I still think that's what's been getting everybody, is so during a long green flag run, what I've seen is the two intersections of this track has been getting a handful of people, but on the restarts, it's the second hairpin, pretty much where Cookie is, where he just came out of. This hairpin right here is what's been getting people as well. So pretty much the last section of the actual track, it's this section right here that's been getting people. Not so much as this section, but this section from right here to here. Now they are double file. Cookie is just now getting into the second, in the very last intersection of the track. They go green at the start finish line. I think he's going to time it just perfectly, maybe. They'll probably be up to speed by the time he comes out of the turn. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway. 15 laps to go. Wesley, Sebastian, Bandit, and Welder. That is your top four. Skid Brave in fifth. Bandit putting the pressure on Sebastian back there. Wesley kind of checking out as they go down into the hairpin. Bandit looking inside of Sebastian into the hairpin. And he got it. Little bit of a stack up there. Oh, back in flat, caught air there off of the exit there. Hit the rumble strips, got some air. Sebastian a little bit out of shape. Now he's getting under pressure from his teammate. Now he tries to do a crossover on Bandit here. Bandit has really been having an up and down that day. He's been up in the lead, down towards 7th and 8th. And oh wow. I guess there was 3 DNFs and now in total as Dale Jr. has left the track. A little bit of a rough up there in the back as first, second, and third pull away. Now Bandit putting the pressure on Wesley. Laps to go in a battle for the lead between Wesley and Bandit. USA versus the Great Britain, or, well, I would say the UK, but then I would be politically incorrect here. I think it's UK. I could be wrong here. Oh, wow. Wow. 14 laps to go, and now it's a 3-way battle for the lead. 2 teammates and a rival. UK versus USA. And Wesley is off the track. Oh, no. Wesley got bumped off the track a little bit there. Bandit and Sebastian now are 1 and 2, followed by Skid Brave. Wesley has now got himself back up into 4th. Same thing happened last week. The same exact thing happened to him last week. Hard racing, and oh, and the caution is out. Okay, well, never mind. Caution is out. That just got interesting. I wonder who it was for. Now, either this was a simple spin. I'm not seeing anybody. Oh wait, it was probably Welder. If I had to guess, Welder probably spun. Maybe? I think he did. He might have, or it might have been. Okay, so Hit Sticks gets the free pass now. So now there's 9 cars back on the lead lap, and whoa, Hit Sticks! Pull it together, buddy. I don't know. Did I miss something? Did something happen? I'm not sure. I don't know who spun where. I mean, I've seen a couple of cars get out of shape, but I didn't see anybody spin. It might have happened from 5th to 7th. It might have happened in that group right there. Because I don't think it was 1st through 4th. I do not believe. Unless when well, no, I mean, there wasn't even really a stack up when Wesley rejoined, because he was well off the track. But then when he rejoined, he came back onto the track side by side with Back in Black, or PRG Black. But it was going in to this hairpin coming up here. See, he went off track right here, rejoined, and they had a little bit of contact, but I don't think it was anything major. But he was already up, he was back and forth when it happened. Now, unless, you know, when he passed Back in Black, then there's something that happened in the little short shoot here. As a few cars go down pit road here. Wesley going down pit road. Back in Black, Dolphin. Bandit stays out. I'm not gonna say don't expect something back, but you know, race others how you would want to be raced, and I don't think that's gonna go over with Wesley too well. There's hard racing, but then I don't know. I mean, it's aggressive. I mean, it's 13 laps to go. It's understandable. Well, now 12 laps to go, and they will restart with 11. It will come to 11 laps to go. 3 DNFs so far. Dale Jr., Woozy Emu, and Milkshake are your 3 DNFs. 11 cars in total still left on the track. Nine cars on the lead lap. I don't think that's going to go over with Wesley too well, because, you know, 2 different drivers, 2 different races in 2 different weeks. Same thing happened. Aggressive racing got run off the track, you know. I understand where Wesley would be coming from, you know, having a good car and being in contention for the win. But just don't count yourself out yet. So, what is going on here? So Bandit is going to have the lead. Sebastian Skidbrave. Cookie now moves up to 4th. Then Wesley in 5th. Back in Black in 6th. BD Dolphin in 7th. Welder goes down to 7th. And then Hit Stick in... Oh wait, no. Welder goes down in 8th. BD Dolphin's in 7th. My fault. And Hit Stick is the last car on the lead lap. my Steve and beloved is 10th and 11th, a lap down. We did have a good long green flag run there. About, say, 20 laps. We had a good 20 lap run there. Coming to the restart now. Bandit takes the outside lane this time. Sebastian is going to start second, Skid Brave third, Cookie fourth, Wesley fifth. Green flag. Whoa, as they fan out there, Skid Brave taking advantage, looking inside, down into the hairpin. Bandit overshoots, Skid Brave takes advantage, Wesley now up into second. Right back into Skid Brave off the track. Here we go, they meet again. Oh, they're rubbing hard. Sebastian, Wesley, and Bandit making contact. Oh no. Oh no. And that didn't go well. That did not go well. Sebastian, and there's a caution. Yeah, that tempers are a little bit heated right now. The tension is there between the 8 and the 72. The 72 didn't like how he got raced, and you could tell they weren't liking each other all that much. What is going on here? Is the leaderboard glitched out here? What is going on? Ooh. There's a little bit of controversy going on right now. 11 laps to go, coming to 10 laps to go. Sebastian's the leader, Wesley second, Welder in third, Back in Black in fourth, Bandit in fifth. So that whole restart, Bandit was the control car. They all fanned out going through the first turn. And when they all fanned out like that, Wesley and Skid Brave, well, Skid Brave started third, Wesley started fifth, and then going down into this hairpin right up here that they are coming up on, Bandit overshoots the corner, Skid Brave takes advantage, Wesley goes through the corner, and Bandit and Wesley are then side by side. Skid Brave runs off of the track. Oh, and Skid Brave DNF'd. Oh my goodness. Well then, I didn't even notice that until now. I am so sorry about that. So, let me see if we can get old Skid Brave in here. I don't think he'll join in for us, but just wow, all sorts of controversy going on right now. So on the restart, and I guess when Skid Brave ran off the track, because in that little, I would say kink, that little S section right after the hairpin, Skid Brave ran off the track, and then Wesley and Bandit and Sebastian, they're kind of duking it out. You know, it comes a 3-horse race when Skid Brave ran off the track. And then pretty much all the way down to the hairpin, Bandit and Wesley are just beating and banging. And pretty much Wesley didn't like how he got raced. And Bandit was ruffling some feathers. In which I could understand, you know, Bandit being frustrated. But at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's just one of them deals, because, you know, Wesley, he hasn't really bothered anybody, in all honesty, you know, just looking at it from the outside, you know, he didn't really bother anybody, he didn't even try to ruffle any feathers, but I could understand where Wesley's coming from, you know, the way he got raced and, you know, got ran off the track. You know, it's back-to-back weeks that has happened. And then he just simply had enough. Not that he turned Bandit or anything. You could see it plain as day. You know, they was both not happy with each other. Because when you're beating and banging all the way down the straightaway here, going into the hairpin, and then Bandit, it looked like Bandit was trying to turn Wesley here, and Wesley was not having any of it. And I guess the caution came out for Skid Brave because he crashed. It possibly was a lag out for Skid Brave, unless it was an actual DNF, because he did go off of the track right in here. Right in this section right here. Right after the hairpin, and coming out of that little S-turn, completely ran off the track. So, now, the Team Toyotas are 1, 2, 3, once again. Skid Brave, who's had something to say about it, isn't going to have anything to say about it anymore. And very unfortunate for Skid Brave, because he actually had a good car underneath him. When he was up there leading, he was up there leading, and now he's not having anything to say about it now. Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? Because, I could see where Bandit is kind of frustrated, because, you know, he's been having an up and down day. You know, he would get up there and then fall back, you know, get into a sand trap into one of these intersections of this track and just lose spots and constantly back and forth, you know, with that, and then gets up there and then, you know, kind of tangles with the leaders, or with the leader, and just kind of aggressive. Was it out of the box? Yeah, kind of, but I just don't think anything like that should be allowed in sort of something like this. But going back to the restart, Sebastian and Wesley, your front row, green flag back in the air. Welder in third. Bandit now up to fourth as Wesley goes wide. He returns back to the lead. Sebastian, and then Welder, and then Bandit. And Bandit sends it in there. Poked his nose in there. Was kind of looking, but I don't know how far back he actually was, but but he did have the presence of mind to, just like touch the brakes a little bit, not, try and take out a guy. Now he's looking inside of Welder. He gets the spot, and it looks like he is on the charge right now. So now they're going to be coming to 8 laps to go. This time by. Now, if there was a caution, if there is to be a caution within the next, if it does get down to 2 laps to go and a caution comes out with 2 laps to go, there is a 10-lap overtime in place. As you will see here on the top right of your screen, it'll say 40 out of 50. The scheduled distance is 48 laps. But if there was, to be overtime, there's just a 10-lap overtime in place. Wesley holds the point still, Sebastian, and then Bandit in 3rd. Bandit trying to get up there to have something to say about it. He closes in on Sebastian. And Welder in 4th, beating off Cookie now. I was going to say beating off him, but then it switched on me. Cookie now moves up to 5th, back in black, and beating off him are 6th and 7th. I do not want to hear a 6-7 joke. I do not. I've been trying to avoid saying it all day. Whoa! Beloved! Beloved fires it in there way too hard. He's off track, but there is no caution. He didn't endanger the field. Seven laps to go currently, coming to 6 laps to go. If I see a 6-7 in the chat, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. Never mind. Now currently 6 laps to go here at Hockenhiemring. Wesley, who has dominated the day, has been relatively smooth all race, just had a little altercation with Bandit on not this most recent restart, but the restart prior. Wesley restarted 5th, Bandit was the control car, and now Bandit up to 2nd. Wesley just trying to set sail right now, as they're with 6 laps to go, coming to 5. Sebastian trying to keep the pressure on Bandit. All 3 Toyotas are right there in the top 5. 2 Chevrolets in the top 5. That would be Back in Black and Bandit. Bandit trying to play catch up to Wesley, trying to have something to say about it, and saying that you're not just going to walk away with this win. But Wesley just trying to be nice, cool, calm, and collective. Slow to smooth, and smooth as fast approach. Just kind of hit your marks and just kind of maybe, just maybe, ride off into the sunset with this. Maybe. 5 laps to go, though. Now, I don't think fuel, yeah, fuel is out of the question. It's pretty much who is going to have the better driving capabilities right now, because Wesley has obviously been the fastest car all day long. He's been smooth for the most part. And the guy in second place who hasn't been quite as smooth, but, you know, has kind of been all over the place in such a short amount of time. You know, he's been up front, he's been in, you know, towards the 7th and 5th position, somewhere in there. And now he's in second, trying to close down the gap on Wesley. Coming to 4 laps to go this time by when they hit the start-finish line. So 4 laps to go left now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. These two are really getting off on the right foot, because if I'm not mistaken, this is Bandit's first race. I do believe. I could be wrong. But, you know, for his first race, he hasn't done that terrible. You know, a little bit of aggressive driving don't really bother anybody, you know. You know, it's getting close towards the end there, and you just kind of gotta, be as mistake-free as possible. You want to, you know, you want to secure the first place position, but doing it as cleanly as possible is another. And that's just one thing that you really got to focus on. Now coming to 3 laps to go this time by. Bandit currently running second. Sebastian running in tow with Bandit in 3rd, and then Welder in 4th. A good run for him today. Back in Black running 5th. Cookie running 6th. Beating off and running 7th. Just in tow behind him. And then Hit Stick in 8th. Beloved in 9th. And my Steve, who's really had a rough start right now. And just a lap down and just kind of been struggling all race long. And 4 DNFs on the day. First DNF was being Milkshake, and then followed by that was Woozy Emu, and then Dale Jr. and Skid Brave. A whole lot of things happen in a short amount of time. And also in a short amount of time, Wesley gets ran off the track or bumped off the track, you know, in a racing situation. Nonetheless, I don't think it was intentional, but that sort of give and take that you really look for, you know, when racing against somebody else. And I don't think it was all the way there, but, you know, also going in side by side into a really, like, one of the few narrowest parts of the racetrack, it's not going to fare out that well. 3 laps to go here at Hockenheim. Or, sorry. Yeah, 3 laps to go. And I think pretty much the finishing order is set right now, but anything can happen. I'm looking at... Okay, well, never mind. I was going to say, I was looking at that other pack, or that other group, that 3-car group, but they were a little bit more spaced out than what I thought. Wesley, still your race leader. I can't remember if 48 is the final lap, or if it's... I can't remember if it's 48 checkered, or if it's 49 is checkered. But still, nonetheless, considering what was thrown at that 72 car today, you know, a good clean race he ran. I kind of think that Wesley was a little bit of an innocent bystander and all that. It was good. It was hard racing, but I just don't think he liked the way that he got raced. But still, persevered from it. There was a little bit of an altercation going into this hairpin, but you know, it's just it's one of them racing deals, and I mean. On that last restart, he put as much distance in between him and second and third place, in which he has done that. Sebastian now trying to close in that gap on Bandit. I don't know if he's going to do it. He's within 0.8 of a second. Or within a second. You know, he's right there. I don't know if this is the final lap. I don't know if it's 48 checkered or 49 is going to be checkered. I'll know if Wesley backs the pace down. Okay, so white flag is in the air. Okay, so we're good. White flag is in the air one more time around Hockenhiemring. Wesley kind of overdrove a little bit there. I mean, you're in the front, Wesley. I mean, you just hit your marks and you'll be all right, buddy. Come on now. Or, yeah, okay. Through the second hairpin, now working on the intersection of this track one more time. Hitting his mark, staying clean. He's good through the first intersection, into the second intersection. The treacherous sand pit, right there. He's through there cleanly. Now he's going through the little short chute here. One more time, and off the final turn, Wesley is going to win at Hockenheim. He wins. Sebastian is going to get second. He gets second. Bandit gets third. That is your top three. Welder gets fourth. Back in Black going to get fifth. it seems like, and Cookie currently running 6th. You can just see how much of a gap that they put. Back in Black gets 5th. Cookie seems to have 6th. He does. He's going across the finish line in the 6th position. Beatty Dolphin is going to get a respectable 7th. Hit Stick, with a little bit of a day he had and a little bit of luck, he gets 8th. Beloved is going to get 9th as he comes around the final turn. Meanwhile, let's get our race winner, Mr. Wesley, up in here. Hopefully. Mr. Wesley, you got a copy. Oh, don't. Oh, God. Don't do this. Oh, there we go. I got it. Well, Mr. Wesley, congratulations on your win, buddy.
Yeah, back to back. Me and Sebastian 1-2 again.
Yeah. Had a little bit of altercation there with the 8 car. I mean, what's your thought about that?
Well, he just wanted to be disrespectful, so I'm gonna be disrespectful back. I just don't take nothing from nobody. So, obviously I got the result that I wanted, maybe not he wanted, so we'll go on to Watkins Glen and go try and win that too.
Alrighty, buddy. Again, congratulations.
Yep. Happy birthday, Juice World. Thank you to Sam Cook. Also, follow my channel. We live stream my POVs on BRL and KMR side.
Alright. Will do. Mr. Wesley gets the job done. Then we're gonna get old Sebastian in here. Oh, if I can get him. Hopefully I can get him in here. If I can find him. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Got him. See if we can get old Sebastian in here. Hopefully we can. I probably won't be able to get. Oh, never mind. Sebastian!
Hey.
Congratulations on back-to-back top 2's finishes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, you know, you and the 8 car going at it with each other there towards the end. I mean, what was that like there for the last couple of laps?
It was a crazy battle. I feel like he had, well, we were almost even on speed, but I feel like he had just a bit, but he must have messed up a little there on the final lap. So I got it.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about going into the next race at Watkins Glen?
I sadly won't be there, but I mean, I'm already locked into the next round, so, you know.
Well, we do wish you could be there to race. And like to see, I would love to see you race.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, buddy, congratulations on back-to-back second place finishes.
Yeah. Just glad I was able to get around Wes and I already forget his name.
Bandit.
Yeah, Bandit. When they were fighting on the uh, front stretch slash back stretch, that was just crazy.
Yeah, it turned into a 3-horse race for you, and you got a little bit better end of a deal.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, congratulations, and sadly, we won't see you there at Watkins Glen next week.
Yep.
Well, buddy, you take it easy, and you have yourself a good one.
Appreciate it. I'll see you later.
Alrighty. That is our second place finisher of the night. We only interview the top 3. Let me try and... I don't know if I can get Bandit in here. I'm going to try and get Bandit in here. But, maybe get his point of view on things. Maybe. I'll give him a minute, because, you know, I need to rehook his headset back up, include his audio, stuff like that, you know, give him a minute. But if he doesn't, hopefully he does, but I don't think he will want to interview because of what has happened in the last 12 laps of this race. But want to thank you all for joining in on today's broadcast here at Hockenhiemring. Next week we'll be at Watkins Glen at 7:45 p.m. East Standard Time, or unless there is an off week. If so facto, there will be no live streamo. Anyways, I'm Mordecai. I'll see y'all at Watkins Glen.